Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Reliance Industries Limited,
Mm-hmm.
RIL,
Mm-hmm.
and their performance in the third quarter of fiscal year 2025.
Yeah.
You sent over their consolidated and standalone financials,
Mm-hmm.
a presentation,
Right.
and a press release.
Okay.
Quite the reading list.
It is quite a bit, yeah.
It seems like RIL had a record-breaking quarter, but with
Yeah.
a company this massive, the question is,
Mm-hmm.
what drove that success?
I think what's really fascinating here is that RIL isn't just a major player in like one industry.
Right.
They're like woven into the fabric of the Indian economy.
Yeah.
We're talking telecom with Jio,
Right.
retail dominance, and of course their foundation in oil and gas.
It's true. Sometimes it feels like they have a hand in everything.
Yeah.
And the sheer scale of their numbers is almost hard to grasp.
Uh-huh.
Their consolidated revenue hit 267,186 crore.
Wow.
To put that into perspective, it would take roughly 23 million average Indians' annual incomes to equal that amount.
Yeah, it's a true testament to their reach and influence
Yeah.
and their profit after tax.
Yeah.
A cool 21,930 crore.
Wow.
Up over 11% compared to last year.
Yeah.
But looking deeper, I think it's clear that the real engine of this growth is their consumer-facing businesses.
Okay.
Jio Platforms and Reliance Retail are both seeing incredible double-digit growth.
So while the energy side might be their legacy, it's the everyday Indian consumer that's driving this success story.
Definitely. Yeah.
Let's unpack Jio first.
Okay.
It feels like everyone I know in India has a Jio SIM card these days.
Right.
Are they really that dominant?
Their reach is undeniable. As
Okay.
of December 2024, they had 482 million subscribers.
Wow.
But it's not just about quantity.
Yeah.
Their ARPU,
Right.
or average revenue per user,
Mm-hmm.
climbed to 203.3.
Okay.
Remember that tariff hike from earlier this year?
Right.
Seems to be paying off.
That's a significant jump.
Yeah.
But they're not just about mobile phones anymore, are they?
Yeah.
They've got GeoFiber for home broadband and are making huge waves in 5G.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jio trying to build a complete digital ecosystem?
Absolutely.
Sure.
GeoFiber added a record 2 million new connections this quarter,
Wow.
bringing them to 17 million fixed subscribers.
Okay.
And what's really impressive is that 70% of their new Jio AirFiber connections,
Okay.
that's their wireless broadband offering, are coming from outside the top 1,000 towns.
Oh.
They're serious about bridging the digital divide.
That's an important point.
Yeah.
Bringing connectivity to those underserved areas
Yeah.
has huge implications for India's future
Yeah.
and their 5G rollout.
Uh-huh.
Things like they're moving at lightning speed.
Yeah.
Are they sacrificing profitability for rapid adoption? Or is this a calculated move?
Well, Jio's already the world's leading standalone 5G operator
Okay.
outside of China,
Right.
with over 170 million 5G subscribers.
Okay.
5G traffic now makes up a staggering 40% of their total network traffic. It's a bold strategy,
Yeah.
but one that seems to be paying off so far.
It's almost like they're leapfrogging a generation of technology.
Yeah.
But even with all this, they're not slowing down.
Mhm.
They're diving headfirst into AI too.
Right.
What's their game plan there?
They're betting big on AI as a key driver of future growth.
Okay.
And they're not just talking about it.
Yep.
They've launched Jio AI Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
a consumer cloud service with free storage,
Okay.
and Jio Brain,
Uh-huh.
machine learning platform
Right.
they're using to streamline their own operations.
Okay.
They're also developing AI solutions for sectors like education, agriculture, and skill development.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but how they can apply it to solve real-world problems in India?
Exactly.
It's almost like they're aiming to become the everything digital company for the entire country.
Yeah.
But enough about Jio for now.
Okay.
Let's shift gears to their other consumer-facing powerhouse, Reliance Retail.
Right.
They're already a behemoth.
They
But
are.
they just keep growing.
Reliance Retail is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
They saw revenue jump to a massive 90,333 crore,
Wow.
an 8.8% increase year on year.
Okay.
And their EBITDA climbed to 6,828 crore,
Okay.
a 9.5% rise.
Wow.
They're everywhere in India, from groceries to fashion to electronics.
Right.
And their growth shows no signs of slowing down.
The press release mentioned a rebound in sales this quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly fueled that resurgence?
Yeah.
Was it a specific segment or a broader market trend?
A few factors contributed to this strong performance.
Okay.
Their grocery business,
Right.
particularly the business-to-consumer segment,
Mm-hmm.
saw a significant uptick.
Okay.
Additionally, the festive season always gives retail a boost.
Yeah.
And Reliance Retail certainly capitalized on that. Increased consumer spending
Right.
and foot traffic.
It's almost like clockwork.
Yeah.
Festivals in India always lead to a surge in shopping. But even beyond that, they're constantly expanding their physical footprint.
Right.
Are they aiming to have a store on every street corner in India?
Well, they did open 779 new stores this past quarter.
Oh my gosh.
That brings their total to a mind-boggling 19,102 stores.
Wow.
Covering a massive 77.4 million square feet of retail space.
That's an empire.
It is.
And it's not just about quantity.
Right.
They're making strategic moves
Mm-hmm.
to cater to different customer segments.
Yeah.
They're bringing Saks Fifth Avenue to India through a franchise agreement, and they've acquired the Mothercare brand and intellectual property
Okay.
for the entire Indian subcontinent.
Wow.
Are they trying to corner every corner of the market?
It's a brilliant strategy of diversification.
Yeah.
With Saks, they're targeting the high-end luxury market.
Okay.
And with Mothercare, they're establishing a strong presence in the baby and maternity products segment.
Okay.
It's all about capturing different demographics
Right.
and solidifying their position across the board.
So they've got the everyday consumer covered with their massive reach.
Yeah.
And now they're aiming for the luxury shopper and the growing families.
Mhm.
It seems like they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
But we've only talked about one side of RIL.
Right.
Their consumer-facing businesses.
Mhm.
Let's delve into their legacy,
Okay.
the often complex world of oil and gas.
This is where things get interesting,
Yeah.
especially with the global energy market's volatility.
Right.
RIL's oil and gas business is divided into two segments.
Okay.
O2C,
Uh-huh.
which stands for oil to chemicals,
Right.
and their dedicated oil and gas segment.
Okay.
From what we're seeing in the data,
Yeah.
O2C seems to be holding steady,
Mm-hmm.
while oil and gas is facing some challenges.
Right. And understanding those challenges requires a bit of context about the global energy landscape.
Right, yeah.
It's been a wild ride lately.
Yeah.
With prices fluctuating and geopolitical tensions simmering. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of their energy operations,
Yeah.
let's take a quick break and come back refreshed to dive into those details.
Sounds good. Welcome back. Now that we've kind of explored that consumer side of RIL, let's shift gears and dive into the financial details.
All right, time to crunch some numbers.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to see the sheer scale of finances for a company like RIL, but honestly, financial statements can sometimes feel like a foreign language.
Don't worry, I'll be your translator.
Okay, thanks.
So first, it's important to distinguish between
Right.
their consolidated and standalone results.
All right.
The consolidated figures encompass all of RIL's subsidiaries,
Right.
Jio, Reliance Retail, and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
The standalone view focuses solely on the parent company's performance.
Okay.
So think of it like
Yeah.
looking at a forest versus examining a single tree.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
So consolidated shows the entire RIL ecosystem,
Right.
and standalone zooms in on their core operations.
What?
Okay, let's start with the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Those consolidated numbers.
All right. So in the third quarter of fiscal year 2025, RIL's consolidated revenue reached an astounding
Okay.
€267, 186 crore,
Wow.
a 7.7% increase year on year.
Okay.
To put that in perspective, that's roughly the same amount as the GDP of some small countries.
That's mind-boggling.
It is.
But revenue is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
What about their profitability?
Uh-huh.
How much of that revenue is actually translating into profit?
That's the important question, right?
Yeah.
So their EBITDA,
Okay.
which stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization,
Right.
was a healthy euro of 48,003 crore,
Okay.
up 7.8% year on year.
Mm-hmm.
This is essentially a measure of their operating profitability,
Right.
and it tells us they're running an efficient ship.
Okay.
And the bottom line, their profit after tax reached 21,930 crore,
Wow.
an 11.7% increase.
So they're growing both their top line and their bottom line at a healthy pace. Impressive.
Very much so.
But these big companies often carry a lot of debt to fuel their ambitious plans.
Right.
How does RIL's debt situation look? Are they taking on too much risk?
That's a key question for any investor, right?
Yeah.
So as of December 2024, RIL's gross debt stood at 350,453 crore.
Okay.
It's a big number,
That's a lot.
but they also have a sizable war chest
Okay.
of cash and cash equivalents,
Mm-hmm.
totaling 234,988 crore.
So a lot of debt, but also a lot of cash on hand.
Right.
What does that mean for their net debt,
Hmm.
the real measure of their financial leverage?
So their net debt, which is calculated by subtracting cash and cash equivalents from gross debt, comes to 115,465 crore.
Okay.
To assess whether that's manageable, we look at their net debt to EBITDA ratio.
Right.
A lower ratio is generally a good sign,
Okay.
as it indicates they can comfortably service their debt with their earnings.
So it's a balancing act. Debt can fuel growth,
Mm-hmm.
but too much can be risky.
For sure.
What's the verdict on RIL's ratio? Okay.
Are they playing it safe or pushing their limits?
Well, RIL's net debt to EBITDA ratio currently stands at 0.60.
Okay.
Put that into context, a ratio below 1
Right.
is often considered healthy,
Hmm.
and a ratio above 3 can raise red flags.
Yep.
So RIL seems to be managing its debt quite well,
Okay.
especially considering the scale of their investments.
That's reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about those investments.
Okay.
RIL is known for pouring resources into growth.
Mm-hmm.
What did their capital expenditures look like this quarter?
In Q3 of FY25, their capital expenditures reached a massive euro 32,259 crore.
Wow.
Roughly 3.8 billion US dollars.
Okay.
They're investing across their diverse portfolio,
Right.
but a large chunk is directed toward their digital and retail businesses.
So they're building out their 5G network, expanding GeoFiber's reach, opening those new Reliance Retail stores,
Right.
and developing those cutting-edge AI technologies.
Exactly.
It sounds like they're really playing the long game.
Not just chasing short-term profits, but building for the future.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Where else are those investment dollars going?
Well, beyond digital and retail, they're also making strategic investments in their energy businesses,
Okay.
particularly projects focused on the energy transition.
Interesting.
Think renewable energy, green hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly not ignoring the shift towards a cleaner energy future.
It's interesting to see how they're balancing their core legacy businesses with these future-focused investments.
Yeah,
It's a delicate dance, adapting to the present while preparing for what's next.
definitely.
But for now, let's zoom in on their traditional operations.
Okay.
What can you tell us about RIL's standalone performance? How are their core oil and gas and petrochemical businesses doing?
All right, so taking a look at their standalone results, we see their profit after tax reached
Okay.
8,721 crore.
Okay.
Now, this is actually down 12% year on year, but it's important to note that it's up 13%
Okay.
compared to the previous quarter.
So a bit of a mixed bag there.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's behind that year-on-year decline?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the volatility in global energy markets we discussed earlier? Or are there other factors at play?
You're right. The global energy market is certainly a factor.
Okay.
The volatility in oil and gas prices has impacted their refining and petrochemicals businesses.
Right.
They're also facing headwinds in their upstream oil and gas production segment,
Okay.
specifically from their KGD6 basin.
Hold on. Let's rewind for a second.
Sure.
For those of us who aren't energy experts,
Right.
what exactly is the KGD6 basin?
Yeah.
And why is it so important for RIL?
So think of the KGD6 basin as RIL's crown jewel for gas production. It's a massive natural gas field located off the eastern coast of India,
Okay.
the Krishna Godavari Basin.
All right.
A dip in production there is like a temporary power outage for their energy business.
Ah, okay. So less production from their key gas field
Right.
combined with fluctuating global prices explains that year-on-year decline.
Exactly.
But you mentioned a sequential improvement,
Right.
meaning they did better than the previous quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sign that they're starting to adapt and navigate these challenges effectively?
It's certainly a positive indicator.
Okay.
It suggests that they're implementing strategies to mitigate the impact of those external pressures,
Right.
whether that's optimizing production,
Yeah.
adjusting their refining processes, or finding new markets for their products.
Okay.
They're not just sitting back and weathering the storm. They're actively steering the ship.
That proactive approach is crucial in such a dynamic industry.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move back to their individual segments,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something that's increasingly important for investors.
Mm-hmm.
Sustainability.
Right.
Are there any insights into RIL's sustainability initiatives in these financial documents? Are they walking the talk?
Absolutely. RIL is increasingly incorporating sustainability into its core strategy. They're making significant investments in renewable energy, circular economy principles, and reducing their carbon footprint.
Okay.
It's no longer a side note.
Yeah.
It's becoming integral to how they operate.
That's encouraging to see. It's
Yeah.
not just about doing good, it's about doing good business in the long run.
Definitely.
Okay, we've covered a lot of financial ground.
We have.
Consolidated performance standalone results, debt management, capital expenditures, and even their commitment to sustainability.
Right.
It's clear that RIL is a financial powerhouse.
Yeah.
But now I'm eager to dive back into the specifics of their diverse business segments
Okay.
and understand the strategies behind their success.
Let's do it. Let's start with Jio Platforms,
Perfect.
the disruptor that's driving India's digital revolution.
Jio's story is one of rapid growth and ambition, and I'm curious to see how they're maintaining that momentum in such a competitive market. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've covered the financials, unpacked Jio and Reliance Retail's impressive growth, and even explored the, complexities of their energy businesses.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
But there's one key element we haven't touched on yet. The people behind RIL's success.
Right, the human element.
What's the leadership vision that's driving this company forward?
Well, every successful company needs strong leadership.
Right.
And RIL is no exception.
Yeah.
Mukesh Ambani, their chairman and managing director, is considered one of India's most influential business leaders.
Yeah.
He's guided RIL through a period of incredible transformation.
Yeah.
And seems to always have his eye on the future.
He's definitely a visionary.
Yeah.
But looking at the press release for these Q3 results, it's clear he's not just focused on the numbers. He talks about RIL's inherent strength and resilience across all their businesses, highlighting the record EBITDA and PAT as proof points, but he also emphasizes their role in India's growth story.
It's true. His message goes beyond just celebrating financial success.
Right.
He specifically mentions Jio's contribution to expanding India's technological capabilities.
Yeah.
And Reliance Retail's deep understanding of the evolving needs and preferences of Indian consumers.
It's almost like he sees RIL as a nation builder,
Yeah.
not just a profit-making machine.
I think that's a good point.
But he also acknowledges the challenges they face, particularly in the energy sector.
Right.
He talks about the resilience of their O2C business in navigating volatile markets and the crucial role of their upstream segment in bolstering India's energy security.
He doesn't shy away from the complexities.
No, he doesn't.
He calls the upstream segment's output a crucial transition fuel. Acknowledging the need to balance current energy demands with the shift toward a cleaner future.
Yeah.
But overall, he's incredibly optimistic about the transformative growth RIL is poised for in the coming years.
He's clearly not resting on his laurels.
Yeah.
There's a sense of relentless ambition in his words.
Definitely.
But it's not just a one-man show.
Right.
His children, Akash and Isha Ambani, are taking on increasingly prominent roles in the company. It seems like a new generation of leadership is emerging.
Absolutely. Akash Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Jio Infocom, is very vocal in the press release about Jio's mission to bring cutting-edge communication technologies to every corner of India.
Yeah.
He sees 5G and the widespread adoption of fixed broadband as key enablers of the Digital India vision.
He's clearly passionate about using technology to bridge the digital divide and empower individuals and businesses across India. And it's not just about connectivity. He also highlights Jio's embrace of AI as a way to create a more connected and intelligent future.
It's interesting to see how Akash is building on his father's legacy while carving his own path, pushing Jio into uncharted territory.
Right. And on the retail side, Isha Ambani, the executive director of Reliance Retail Ventures Limited, is also making waves.
She's been instrumental in driving the growth of their retail empire.
Right.
In the press release, she talks about Reliance Retail's strong performance, especially during the festive season, attributing it to their focus on offering a wide variety of products at competitive prices, both in their physical stores and on their digital platforms.
Yeah, she highlights JioMart specifically, talking about how they're creating a seamless shopping experience through express delivery, scheduled deliveries, and even subscription services.
It's really about convenience for the consumer.
Exactly. And she's leveraging technology to reshape the retail landscape. and cater to the evolving demands of the Indian consumer.
The compressive.
It's exciting to see both Akash and Isha bringing their own perspectives and leadership styles to the table, building on the foundation their father laid.
Right.
It's almost like they're writing the next chapter of the RIL story.
It's a family affair.
It is, but after this deep dive into their performance strategies and leadership, what's the big takeaway?
Right.
What should we be watching for as RIL moves forward?
So there are a few key trends, I think, to keep an eye on.
Okay.
First, the continued growth of their consumer-facing businesses.
Right.
Jio and Reliance Retail are showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah.
And their success is deeply intertwined with the rising aspirations and spending power of the Indian consumer.
They're perfectly positioned to ride that wave of growth, especially as digital adoption increases and the middle class expands.
Exactly. But it's not just about India.
Right.
Their ambitions are global.
That's true. Second, their aggressive push into AI is worth watching.
Definitely.
They're not just using AI to enhance existing services, but also to create entirely new opportunities in areas like healthcare, education, and even agriculture.
They're betting that AI will be the engine of their future growth.
Right.
Both within India and beyond.
It's almost like they're trying to position themselves at the forefront of the global AI revolution, leveraging their scale and resources to compete with the tech giants of the world.
It's a bold move.
And let's not forget about the elephant in the room, the energy transition.
It's a defining challenge.
It is.
And RIL is taking it seriously.
Yeah.
They're making commitments to sustainability, investing in renewable energy, exploring new avenues like green hydrogen.
Right.
They understand that their future success depends on adapting to this changing energy landscape.
It's not just about greenwashing.
Yeah.
They're fundamentally rethinking how they operate and contribute to a more sustainable future.
For sure. And finally, keep watching Akash and Isha Ambani.
Right.
They're already making their mark.
Yeah.
And it will be fascinating to see how their leadership shapes RIL in the years to come.
They represent a new generation of leadership, navigating a world of rapid technological advancement, evolving consumer demands, and a pressing need for sustainable solutions.
It's a lot to handle.
It is.
Their success will be crucial to RIL's continued dominance.
Well, listeners, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Reliance Industries.
It does.
We've explored their record-breaking performance, their ambitious strategies, and the vision of their leadership.
Yep.
It's a company that's constantly pushing boundaries, embracing innovation, and playing a pivotal role in India's economic transformation.
They're a fascinating case study of how a company can adapt, evolve, and thrive in a rapidly changing world.
Absolutely. Hopefully this deep dive has given you a better understanding.
I hope so.
Of RIL's complexities, their challenges, and their incredible potential.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
We always encourage you to keep exploring, questioning, and diving deeper into the topics that spark your curiosity.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deep.
See you next time.